Okay, take number 3, humility. Okay, God says He gives more grace to the humble. All right, He abases the proud and uplifts the humble. And He led a life of humility. He came as the King of the universe, who He is the King of the universe. He came, He made the whole world, He made you and me, and He came and He was born in a lowly manger, because they had no room to receive Him in the inn. So I just want to discuss humility. And in my life, I've seen where definitely when you're humble, it gives people room to lift you up. Because if you're humble, definitely there's like no cause that you don't give people an ammunition to come against you because you're humble. It is when you push yourself forward and you're proud and you're out there, that's when people tend to find you give people reasons to put you down. So if you're humble, God will lift you up. And we see in Christ's life that He is a perfect example of humility. And even from His birth, where He was born in a manger, a manger with animals, and it's like He was born in the on the outside. People were on the inside. He was born on the outside with animals. Okay, and the people who should have received Him. Okay, when a king is born, like for example today, when a royal is born, like for example in England, it's a big celebration. It's a huge announcement. And a welcome any member to the royal family. Jesus' life was the opposite. When He was born, those people who should have welcomed Him, did not. And even throughout His life, in His ministry, the Jewish elders who knew of the prophecy of the coming of the Messiah, they just simply rejected that. They just simply rejected Christ because I guess He just didn't meet up to their standards. So He was just too humble. A king should not come riding on a donkey, right? So they just rejected Christ because he didn't fit the kingly character they were looking for. So I want to look at Luke chapter 2 verses 4 to 20. And after you're gonna read for me, please. Let's start from the part where He was born. Start from chapter 7. And read up, so speak up loud so they can hear you.
And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were in the same country shepherds, abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, laying in a manger.
Okay, so thank you, Afi. So here we see that there's a part in the Bible where there's a king who's going to have a feast or a wedding, and the people that were invited to the wedding feast all had an excuse. One person just got married, one person just bought a piece of property, and they could not, another one had a different excuse, and they could not make it to the wedding feast. And the host was very upset, and he said, go out into the streets, get this person, the homeless, so that there will be people at the feast. Okay, because the people who should be at the feast, they refused to come, and he was very upset with those people. So he had other people to replace them. Same thing with the birth of Christ. The people who should have known about the birth of Christ and rejoiced at his birth, they, were oblivious. They didn't care, because we're looking for something else, something not humble, something extravagant. Okay? So what did God do? Well, God went and announced the birth of Christ to shepherds, out in the countryside somewhere. Shepherds, again, I guess, more animals again, shepherds, with sheep, smelly sheep. Okay, just some dudes out there just doing their thing, God went to them and gave them, the good tidings. I guess he went to the humble, right? The meek and lowly, right? Christ repeatedly talks about how, he is revealed to the humble, to the, the meek, to the lowly, to the simple, to babes, and the wise and the people are up there, they just didn't get it. Christ's life and ministry was strictly about, being humble. And, even to receive Christ, to believe in Christ, you have to be humble. You have to humble yourself and believe that, he in fact is Lord. Because again, he came so simple, so calm, so unassuming. To believe in Christ, I mean, people think they're so smart and, they scholars and they're all that, and they just can't, deal with this guy that, came and he died on the cross, whoopity-doo, big deal, right? So you have to humble yourself to actually accept Christ as Lord. So the leaders, even with Herod, when he asked the leaders, when the wise men came to Herod, he called in the scribes, the Jewish scribes, and they told him that, Christ was supposed to be born in Bethlehem. They knew he was supposed to be born in Bethlehem. Herod, I think, had more faith to send people out to go and, and get Christ, kill him. He told the wise men, when they find him, let us know, let me know, He exercised more faith than, although for a wicked reason, than the scribes, the leaders of the Jewish people who should have known that Christ is the Messiah is due to be born in Bethlehem. Right? Because again, they were looking for something else. So we ought to be humble. And like God says, he gives more grace to the humble. He lifts up the humble and abases the proud. So in my life, I've demonstrated, when I demonstrated humility, I always see where, I'm lifted up, But if I get arrogant and, just put myself out there, it never goes well, Another simple fact from the Bible, that, truly, the Word of God is true. And if we just simply obey it, it's good for us. So be humble. Be humble like Christ, and remember that He's in control. And, sometimes you have to really, there's a time for everything. Sometimes you have to really, put yourself out there and speak up and act up. But more time, it's best to be humble. Any thoughts up here?
Not really.
Not really. Alright, so thanks for watching. And have a good night. And Jesus Christ is the Lord.